Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a really cool unboxing to do for you. So, first up, I actually unboxed this prior to this video. I didn't know what it was, and I was running out to lunch, and I was going to meet some knife buddies. Shout out to Matt and Joe, and I wanted to see what it was in case I wanted to bring it. Turned out it's the prototype for the Jens Anso designed Urban EDC Supply Monaco, which has this really cool pattern on it. Look at that. It has a reversible clip. It's got that sort of Leon Ma style clip. So 90% sure this is made by Riot. And inset liner lock. Probably M390 or LMAX on the steel. Very cool little knife. Inset lock, like I said, it drops pretty well. You know, it's a shaker from there, but it's tiny, guys. This flipper tab takes a little getting used to, but once you realize you just gotta give it the gas, it flies out. And it's not because of the detent, it's just a tiny little flipper tab. But I'm really digging this, so I'm unboxing this with that. This is actually from Arizona Custom Knives. Now, I wouldn't have ordered this from them had I known these were gonna drop everywhere. But they were the first to drop, and I had a heads up from a buddy, and shout out to you, you know who you are. And so they were the first to drop them, and I wanted to get in on them. So, and then accident happened. Their website was crashing. It came from Arizona Custom Knives. Their website was crashing like crazy. I had just left my house for lunch, and I was doing it on my phone on shitty 5G or whatever. And yeah, so the website's crashing left and right. I had added one to the cart, crashed, went back, added another one, crashed, and then I went to another browser and did the whole process again, dropped one in my cart, and I guess when I checked out, it didn't tell me I had added 3. It just like dropped all the ones I had added on the other browser into my cart, and I checked out and ordered 3 of them. Which is crazy, right? Check that out. You can consign with Arizona Custom Knives. So I actually ended up ordering 3 of these. Then I contacted them and I said, hey, if there's a 1 knife per person limit, just give me the Bowie, right? And then I said, if I can have more than 1, give me a drop point and a Bowie, and just remove 1 of them. Because I had ordered 2 drop points and 1 Bowie, all in the same handle configuration. And they ended up removing 1 of the drop points. So, anyway, you guys already know what this is, probably from the thumbnail or whatever. But these are Sharp by Design Mini Tempests. So, that's my order sheet. Nothing else in here. I actually had it shipped today. Second day air, sorry, from UPS, which I'm never doing again because people who ordered them like the same time and just used regular USPS got them before me, which just sucks. So here we go. Tempest black PVD frame, Bowie M390 gold dark matter, it's fat carbon. Tempest black PVD drop point gold dark matter M390. I really liked the gold fat carbon, and I liked it with the black PVD. They didn't offer the gold with any other handles, and all of his stuff usually is in the plain tie with an inlay, and I just thought it'd be cool to do something different. Anyway, these are manufactured by Riot, of course, just like this here, Monaco. So you can actually get this. There's a pre-order right now on urbanedcsupply.com. If I remember, I'll put my affiliate link down below. It's in the description of every video. If I don't remember, it'll be down there somewhere. And you can actually pre-order this now. I think they start at $199. It's titanium and premium steel. So I actually really dig it, but I'll do a full video on this in the near future. So let us check out the drop point first. I have handled the custom Tempest, actually. This is the mini, which means 3.5-inch blade. The custom's a 4-inch. Yeah, I mean, it is smaller than I expected, honestly. It's thinner than I expected. Interesting. Does, right off the bat, I'll say this clip is kind of pokey. It has a fuller, which is something everybody is raving about, saying you can flick. Centering is, so there's a line down the center, and this one is centered at this point. That dark matter gold fat carbon is stunning. He was supposed to use carbon plate, but they fucked him over, and he ended up having to figure something out, and he went with fat carbon. So they saved the day, which is awesome. It's really cold. It's been outside and all that jazz. These are front flippers only, and they have a bolster lock. Ooh, okay, I think it might be flickable for me left-handed. And that's the key right there for me. This bolster lock is super important as a lefty. So let's just see how she flicks and check out the blade shape. Okay. Okay. This has the Brian Nadeau detent system, which is sort of a nub situation. You see that little triangle in there instead of a detent ball, which is really cool. It's built into the steel insert interface or whatever. Let me just wipe this down. So the custom I handled was a drop point, much like this. Oh man, it feels really good in hand too. You can kind of choke up if you want. It's M390 with a hand satin. It's very sharp. Which I would have preferred a belt satin, but I get it. It's a sort of, you know, flashy sort of knife, whatever you want to call it. Gentleman's type knife. Let's check the close. Oh, it just drops to your nail like, oh my God. I can hear a little grit right there. It's going to wear a path. According to somebody I know, these break in really well, maybe because of the nub. So there is a fuller right here, and I wanted to get the ones at the fullers because I'm told that right-handed, you can reverse flick them. Now the question is, can you do it left-handed? Yes! Yes! You can. That's the drop point. Let's just take a look at the Bowie. So I was thinking I might sell, obviously I figured I'd sell the one I didn't like the most. Yes, I know I'm crazy. And I figured, you know what, these days with the way I have issues with lemons and such, maybe it's not a terrible idea to get two and just keep the one I like the most, right? Maybe one has a little bit of a fit and finish thing that's a little better or worse. Maybe I piece one together, you know. Dead nuts. Both of them. Dead nuts on centering. Oh, I didn't check play on this guy. No play, no rock. Man, Riot just is so good. This is the Bowie. So let's just see if it's the same. Oh. 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 Looks the same. Is there less access? Yes, there's less access to the fuller on the Bowie. Interesting. That may have just answered our question for us. I gotta say, I love the look of the Bowie. Ooh, this one's a little stiffer too. Ooh, that detent's a little stouter. Maybe that's what it is. Did you hear that? Well. Yeah, you see how I just get in there? Flicks pretty easily there. This one, yeah, there we go. I'm definitely keeping this drop point. Just based off of, solely off of that. I can reverse flick it super easy. And it's very smooth. There we go. That thundered out on that one. So, I'd say the detent's the same. Hold on, let me just feel this. Yeah, it's the same. And you know what else I like better about the drop point, honestly, is the drop point. So the tip is going to be a little bit lower. See that? So for my purposes, which means cutting shipping labels and such, less of a reach up to get to the tip. On this one, I got to go all the way up here because it's got that up sweep. So this makes it a very easy decision. Oh, there we go. You have to get down like here. If you go up here, you're not going to get enough, but down here, you do. On this one, you can get it. Like, I'm sure I can get it. There. But it's a lot more of a process where this one I can just grip it and rip it. You know what I mean? Much more likely for me to fall in love with. Can I do the reach around moves with this guy? Yes. Right-handed. Yeah, gotta say, drop point for the win here. Another question would be on the action. Would I want to put skifferoons into one of these? They're super tight, so like there's no blade play, none of that, and it's dropping to there real nice. And I feel like it's gonna break in, so this might be one I just let break in. And we see where we are in a week or so. Instead of just taking it apart, trying to throw in something. Like, can I fail it on the front flipper? Yeah, right there. It catches a little bit. I think it's just wearing a path. There's a little bit of oil right there. You see that? I don't know if you can, actually. Let's see. See that oil right there? It's probably nothing, but here's the detent. Here's that beautiful fat carbon. Look at that gold fat carbon. Yeah, so I want to sell the other one while I can because they're dropping left and right everywhere. Brian Nadeau, man, I'm so glad I was able to pick one up because I missed the pre-order thinking I didn't like this knife. I was thinking front flipper, and I thought they offered a flipper version too. But then I got in on the Apex, and then I saw these with the bolster lock, and I was like, oh, that might be awesome, right? And then I was thinking if I really like the Bowie, maybe I'll just keep both, but there is actually a substantial difference. I don't know if it's, am I putting pressure on the lock bar? Is that all it was? Like right there, I'm putting pressure on right there. I'm not. But on this one, I don't know. I just get a better, I don't know. I just seem to get a better, it comes out a little better. Maybe the detent is lighter. It feels good though. It's popping. Oh yeah. It is a little stronger on that other one. This one's a little stronger, so I bet you I can't fail it. Yeah, I can. It's more of a crisp break, more of a, this one kind of, but I mean, it's definitely not bad, you know what I mean? Technically, I could take, because the detent is probably related to the handle, right? So technically, I could probably take the blade and swap it, because I'm guessing the same blade fits into, like, each blade shape fits into the same handle, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a separate, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you could do a blade swap is what I'm saying. Jesus, Kev. So I'm thinking that way I could get this detent, but then I'm going to get a tighter action where this one is way silkier. And obviously, the reverse flick is going to work better with a lighter detent. Normally, I'm not the lighter detent guy, right? But this works so well. Sorry. And it's not too light. Like, it's shooting out of there, you know what I mean? So, I think I'm just going to stick with this drop point. And I am going to sell the Bowie probably right after this video. So there we go. I really like them. This is an awesome knife. I think I didn't think I would, but visually, I think I like the drop point just a little bit better, even though I thought I was going to like the Bowie a little more. I like that it has the poon in it, but I like the lower tip, and I like just a little cleaner, right? I don't know. You guys tell me which one you like more, this one or this one. But I think I've already decided what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm sure I could take this apart and, you know, clean it all up, do all that stuff, and it would, you know, it would be a little bit, it's not that it's not smooth, it's just a little tighter, that's all. Is there any pivot lash? I mean, slightest hint, maybe. None there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I feel the need to have the stronger detent on this. I know that sounds weird, but I don't think it's necessary on this model. And I like that on this one, I can just put my finger wherever and flick it. I'm even right on top of the lock bar. Oh. And it's flicking. Whereas on this one, if I go anywhere near that, it's locked up like a bank vault. Down here, it comes out a little easier. But I do still think the access, if you look at it, it looks like it sticks out slightly more. Let's take some calipers out here. See how we can measure this. From the frame to there. I gotta do it right over my eyes here. .16. I mean, it might be 1/10 of an inch or something. I don't know. Just seems like you get a little more access on the drop point. It could just be that what I'm seeing is this swoop in right here. See that, how it cuts in? And this one's straight across. And maybe that's all I'm seeing. It's not actually showing more fuller, but to me it looks like it's showing a little bit more fuller on the drop point. And you know what? It doesn't matter because this is just the one that's working better for me. And that's what's important, I think. I don't think it's worth taking both apart and messing around and trying to, you know, see if I can franken one together. Like, do I want... I just don't even think the stronger detent makes sense. I'm just wondering if I had the access that I do on this one, would it be nicer having that stronger detent? So now I'm tempted to do it, rip them apart, but then I gotta put them back together and hope I do it right, because sometimes knives are just good from factory and taking them apart doesn't help, makes it worse. You know, like I could put skiffs in here, but does it need it right now? Not really. So I'm going to think about this. But right now I'm really leaning towards that drop point right there. So anyway, that's it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. They are out of the box. I'll be doing a full review on a mini Tempest. So I am glad I went with this black handle with the gold, because I really like that. That part's perfect. So that's it. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later. All right. So I've had a couple hours with these knives, and I actually already promised this one, the Bowie, to Brent over at Backpack B. So this is actually basically already sold. Let me put away the box, and then we can talk. I told him I'd give him some bearings with it to go in if he wanted. The other one, the drop point, is the one I'm keeping, and there's a couple of reasons I'll talk about. And obviously, I disclose all that stuff when I sell a knife, so Brent already knows this, but there's a couple things going on here. So first, I want to talk about, I basically am doing first impressions here. I've had them for a few hours, right? I just did the unboxing earlier today, so it makes sense. And then I'll do a full review later. You can see the carbon fiber material, the fat carbon gold, I think dark matter gold. It looks awesome on both. There's this little area on this one. I just noticed that, though. Didn't even see that before. This one has a little bit of stuff going on around the edges, but they're both really good. The transitions is fucking ridiculous. Like, don't even feel it. It's that good. Obviously, you feel it right here, but that's where the frame lock is. So you're gonna feel it a little bit where it's gonna transition as the knife opens and closes, right? This PVD or DLC finish is really nice. You can see it's already wearing a little bit around the edges. This has been in my pocket, for a couple hours. The clip is fantastic, at least with the pants I'm wearing right now. It feels a little tight, and it feels a little pokey at the end, but it just pops right into the pocket on these pants I'm wearing. They're Vertex pants. And in hand, you never feel that point. So it's just an aesthetic thing, I guess. The jimping on the flipper tab is amazing. Love the pivot. I did not touch either of these in terms of like trying to tune them or anything like that. They both came dead nuts centered. I got some sticker mill stickers coming for that as well. Larger circle ones. They had a deal today. So, okay. Then the differences. We talked about this in the unboxing a little bit. It's basically the detent and the blade shape. And I want to say, I said this in the unboxing that someone told me that they break in really nicely. And you guys saw the action on this drop point out of the box, right? It was a shaker. Not a ton of shake, but it needed shaking. It's basically a drop shut now. I mean, if you give it just a little bit on the go, it drops shut. Now, this one I haven't flicked as much because I had already decided which one to keep, and I've been carrying this one. This one hasn't been carried or anything, so it's not quite there, but you did see in the unboxing that when I disengaged, it wasn't really falling, and that's already happening, and then it's smooth. So this one's kind of like where this one was at out of the box. So I have no doubt that it'll continue to break in, and possibly a little bit of adjustment on the pivot or adding those skiffs I included will get it there for Brent. He does seem to be more of the type of guy who kind of does this thing when he closes a knife. He just chucks it down, if you know what I mean. So he may not even notice. After testing this and talking to other people who have them, it does seem that I'm not crazy, and the drop point does have a little more access on the fuller. I can reverse flick it right-handed or left-handed, really. No problem, as long as I just know I have to get down here at the bottom of the fuller. Oops. And then I can get it. So I really have no problems either way. Chris Grady's gear got the Bowie, different configuration, but he got the Bowie, and he can't really flick it. He said he can get it sometimes. I can pretty much get it every time, but I do need to kind of put a little more effort and focus into it than with the drop point where I can just pick it up and bang it. I think another reason might be the detent. So on this one, it's a bit lighter, so I can break it and, easily, but I mean, it's a front flipper, you can do that, but like I can fail it with the fuller like that. With this one, and this could be part just the fuller, but part detent. If I get it to come, it's going to fly out. On this one, you see how it's just a little bit more lazy, but when I'm going to flick it, I'm going to flick it and it's going to come out. So that doesn't bug me. Plus, I think the lighter lock bar tension gets me that drop shut that this one may never have, being that drop shut, at least on stock bearings. And then on the front flipper, yeah, you can do this and kind of pop it and fail it, But if you just flick it, it feels really good. And it still has a, like, sort of clean, I can feel it break, like a pop sort of break. It doesn't make a sound. This one, you might be able to hear it a little bit. It's just a little bit stronger. So on this one, if I hold it off the lock bar, I can throw it out with enough force. I mean, that one took a lot more. So you can just tell the detent's a little bit strong. Now, it's not like weak. Like, it's not coming out unless I give it a good amount. So to me, this one is perfectly fine. And having that drop shut is just, for me, is better. Normally, I'm the guy who wants the stronger detent, right? And I had thoughts of swapping them, like doing a blade swap and trying to get the stronger detent on this blade, and maybe it would drop shut more because it has more weight on the end of the blade. That's another reason that this one might not drop shut as much, because you have a bit of blade that's missing on this that you have on that. Plus a little stronger lock bar pressure. It just all adds up, right? But again, you can see here, it's not like bad, and it's gonna break in. This one's been flicked, maybe a quarter of the times that this one has, and I have no doubt that Brent is gonna flick the shit out of this, so it's probably gonna break in real nice. I just didn't want to take them apart, honestly. Like, if this one felt like this one, like that little bit of stiffness, whatever, I probably would have done it and messed with it. But because it's basically dropping shut and I can flick it, like when I want to flick it, it flicks all the way out. So it's not like, I'm one of those people who complains about light detents, but like, are you actually going to fail it in practice? Probably not, in most cases. And this is one of those knives where it's like, just, I'm not going to fail. Occasionally, I kind of squirt it out and it doesn't go out all the way. And then I'm just like, and I shut it and then I reflick or whatever, right? And that's usually because I slipped off halfway through a flick or something. These knives are not designed to be reverse flicked, I think. So you got to keep that in mind. But anyway, point being is the front flipper with this detent still works really well, even with the lighter detent. You can do this stuff a little bit easier, which is kind of cool. I'm just hoping it doesn't break in and get weak, like the detent get even weaker. Because this one has broken in a little bit, and I can now do the index flicks and stuff. And I think it's going to continue to just get a little bit better. Where this one, I kind of just want it to stop. Like, I don't want it to break in anymore. Like, I don't want it to get lighter in it. I'm hoping it's just the action breaking in and not the detent, kind of wearing down. Because he does have this detent nub situation. And I'm not sure how that wears in. If it does end up getting weaker as you go. Like, liner locks tend to break in more, where they go from a stiff detent to kind of being like, normal. I don't see that as much with frame locks like this or bolster locks like this, but who knows with his system how it works. So I'm just hoping I don't end up regretting getting rid of the stronger detent one. But I definitely want the drop point for the flick. So it kind of is what it is. And, I'm not going to go switching them and then, sell that to a buddy. Like, it's either pick this one or pick that one for me. And, that way Brent still gets an awesome knife regardless, right? There's nothing wrong with this one. This one's actually really good. I think had I kept both, I'd probably like them both. It's breaking in already. Just doing this video, I can feel it's getting less and less tight, so to speak. And all that is his little nub. His little nub. The detent nub is wearing that path in or whatever. And it, like, I think it was Stasa23 who said he's had multiple Sharp by Designs, and they just wear in very, very well. And like a lot of knives, they'll break in a little bit, you know, but they don't usually go from, you know, semi-stiff to drop shut. And this one literally did that before my eyes. So I can attest to how that is. And I think once this one's gone, I'm going to be less worried about this. Like, I'm just thinking about it a lot because I can feel this. Like, here's basically the point. For the reverse flick and the drop close, I want this detent, right? But for the front flip and for the, you know, what would you call it? Detent retention, I want this one. So it's kind of like I want parts of both knives. So I think once one's gone, it's just going to make it a little easier. I do have a feeling eventually it's going to, it's going to do like a double bounce because it's not that strong of a detent. You know what I mean? I don't think this one would ever double bounce. No, it's not smooth enough yet or droppy enough yet to get there. So it's just trade-offs, you know, and you got to pick your poisons. But the way that this detent still pops, luckily, with his nub, it just sounds weird. It still works with the lighter detent. If you can't tell, I'm sitting here just convincing myself this is a dumb video. So anyway, I just wanted to show them both again. That was my first impressions. And basically it was all about the action. I'm sorry. The ergonomics on these are incredible. They're just impeccable. It's one of the most comfortable knives I've ever felt. It is literally the perfect size knife for me. 3.5 inches. You have a little bit of knife sticking out. It just fits really well in the hand. You can choke up like this if you want. Now, that choil is kind of useless in a couple ways. Like, it's not a finger choil, and I don't know if it helps with sharpening. Chris, Grady's Gear, did have some weird schmutz or something inside his fullers that wasn't like he could just get it out with alcohol, so he's going to try some stuff to get that out. I'm definitely glad I went with the gold and the black tie or darkened tie. I obviously love the detent system and all that stuff. The only negative to it really is that it's a steel nub. It's not ceramic, but I don't really know how that's a negative. Maybe, you know, in a rust situation, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to get this one over here shipped off to Brent so that I stop thinking about it. That's pretty much where I'm at. I might try to get another one. And if I do, I think it's going to be another drop point. So I'll try to get a drop point with maybe plain tie and the blue or something. Yeah, this is like, holy cow, this thing feels so much better now. Just from the bit of flicking I'm doing here. So, yeah, I'm glad because I wanted to make sure that, you know, the one I sold was still good, you know. And it was, for sure, but I can tell it's going to get awesome. So, that's it. I'm going to shut up. I love you guys. Let me know what you think down below. I know I'm crazy, but this also brings up one last topic, which is buying multiples. Buying multiples of production knives is smart in a lot of cases because then you can pick the one you like the best. If one of them is like really good and whatever, or if you just, you know, 2 blade shapes and you want to choose or whatever, like I did, or maybe you want to see if, you know, this fuller works as well as that one, like I did. And then the other thing is you can build your own, right? So you could take, you know, like if this detent was way too light, I could probably try to swap the blade and the lock bar insert into here and get that stronger detent on this one. And then have this blade shape on this handle. You know what I mean? You could probably mess around with that. Or if one just has way better action in some aspect or whatever. Excuse me. it's kind of smart. And then you sell the other one. Obviously, you got to make sure it's still a functional knife and a good knife. But for super picky people like me, you can do that. And then you just make your money back, right? You know, I kind of did that with the Lift Concepts Avants. I bought 2 of those, but I mainly bought 2 because I was, you know, I wanted one, and then I just wanted to support the company. But then the Jaegers, I got 2 pre-orders. So I don't know. It's just a thought. I know some people who do that regularly. They buy 2 of each knife that they can, and then they kind of just go from there. Pick the one they like the best, or put the one together they like the best, right? I'm just afraid to take this one here apart because it's already just so good in terms of dropping and everything. You know, it's almost like too loose at this point. And when I say loose, there's no play or anything. It's just like basically a guillotine at this point. But again, still has that pop, a little bit of pop. This one's definitely stronger though. All right, that's it. Love you guys. Hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.